We in room 115, man. There's a lot of legendary moments. I learned how to record here. Artist development was taking place in here by my man Leff. You know what I'm saying? Leff taught me the most important lessons about recording in here. You know what I mean? One of was they got it's Broadway when you're behind the mic, just that they can't see you. So they gotta feel what you're saying without them actually seeing you. Like, and since we talking about growth and what's happened since then, was that 2013? Talking about growth, man. Like, you've had, like, I've been in here. You've mixed Method Man vocals in here, Wyclef vocals in here, Fred the Godson was in here, Goods was in here. Like, you've touched Robert Glasper, bro. Like, you've touched legendary vocals in this place, bro.
Even having the convo with him on the phone.
You know what I'm saying? Even a convo, bro. And I know it's been crazy.
A run, man.
It's been a run, and I think speaking of growth, man, like Godfrey was a debut, bro. We've done mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came in here fucking knocked out 10 records at a time. You know what I mean? Like, but you've been able to speak, and yo, you too, bro. KP, you been around since when?
2015.
2015, bro. First producer I ever spoke to that was just like, yo, I don't want no money for no beats, bro. I just want my bread on the back end. But I believe in you, so whatever you need, bro. Like, this man done drove me to Boston to work on records and had me in a crib with his family off of just belief. And you've been able to see the growth firsthand from 2015 to fucking to now. The joy comes in the morning, bro. So like, just real quick, man. I'ma just say I appreciate y'all. And this whole process has been crazy. Yeah, it's been a lot of like mourning, a lot of loss, but it's been a lot of love, a lot of joy, and a lot of growth at the same time. And I feel like those things are synonymous with each other. You know what I mean? Like, 7 on 7, bro. Speaking of growth, 7 on 7, bro. KP sent me that beat when?
2018.
2018 he sent me that beat. When did you make it?
June of 2018.
2018, bro. I'm looking through old KP joints because we got a whole bunch of records. I'm looking through old KP joints. I hear this beat and I'm just like, yo, I feel like I haven't told the story of Joy Comes in the Morning yet. So with 7 on 7, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna make this joint. I gotta tell the story. Just about the duality of life and death and the sevens and how they keep repeating themselves. My man died on the 7th and I got married on April 7th. Just to tell that story. And I was like, yo, what beat can I do this on? I looked in my email, found the joint that you sent from 2018.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, I gotta do this joint.
Wait, which one was that?
That was 7 on 7.
Oh, that was 7 on 7?
7 on 7.
A year ago? 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago,
yeah.
and it just sat there.
Just sat there. Literally just sat there.
Just sat there, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah, because yo, I didn't.
Leave shit sitting there.
Nah, bro, I didn't know how to approach it.
Specifically, it wasn't like a filler.
Nah.
You feel me? But yo,
that has its time.
Timing is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't write to it 2 years ago. I didn't have nothing to say.
Yeah.
It had just been a cool song. I had to put that experience on that record, and I wrote the joint in like 20 minutes, bro. No lie. I called my cousin Clinton up. Shout out to Clinton if you hearing this. You feel me? I shout out to Clinton, and I ran the hook by him, and he was I think it was a Bobby Caldwell rendition. And we were just going through the song. I was like, yo, what if you put this piece here and this piece here? And I was like, yo, that's dope. Send it to Tammy. Tammy aired it. Send it to Flynn. Flynn threw backgrounds on it. And then we were just like, yo, what if we get Robert Glasper on this joint? Called him right here in this room. So I'm talking about growth, bro. 2013 niggas would not be able to get in contact with somebody like that.
Yeah.
And what was crazy about that call was not just the turnaround time out of respect out of him, but the call was on the 7th.
It was on July 7th, bro.
Yeah.
Which was the original day that I wanted to drop the joint.
Was it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was gonna be an EP first.
Yeah.
It was gonna be a 7-joint EP I was gonna drop on July 7th.
It gets even deeper. It's the fact that he said, I felt led to do it right then and there.
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
He don't waste time.
And he was on some, like, during the pandemic, a lot of people reached out to get work done. He was just like, I'll get to it later. Your joint.
He was like, I felt like I had to do it right then and there, bro. So, like, crazy, bro. Like, even in this very room, bro, you had left already, right?
I had left. You called me, and and you were just like, "Yo, can you send me the beat and take the keys out?"
That's what he said.
I pulled. He said, "Take the keys out."
Remember, Rob was just like, "Yo, I can't be playing keys with
on top of keys
with mortals."
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Basically,
he said,
"I'm not mad. Nah, I wasn't mad at that."
He said, "Don't put my keys on top of mortal keys. Send me the joint."
I was literally on Route 3. I pulled the car over, like literally just pulled the car over, turned on my hotspot, and just sent it over. Turned on my hotspot on my phone, sent it, and then drove back.
Yo, and we was in it. He was just like, "Yo, I'm about to be out the door," so I'm just like, "Yo, give me 5 minutes, bro. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes, bro."
I think that's what happened. Yeah, I said it to him when I was on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was out. Yeah.
Feel me? So like,
Yeah.
bro,
and then we sat here till maybe 3, 4 in the morning, like
yeah,
chopping the keys up.
Yeah.
Just listening to it, like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
dog, and to have him on the phone for the joint too, just be like, "Yo, bro, like I had to call him, bro, cause like Rob is my man, and we chop it up, but I've never gotten a chance to get him on a project before, especially something that's this important. You know what I mean? So to have him on this joint, and the turnaround time, bro, on the day that it happened, what the song was about, dog, ridiculous, son. So
Yeah, nah, and from an engineer standpoint, bro, even that song alone, I remember mixing it in here with y'all, and then we went to the gallery to hear it back, and we were in the car, we were playing it, we were like, "Yo, this joint sounds that might be one of the dopest joints on the album."
I'll be honest with
sonically.
you,
It's hard not to cry.
yeah.
Listening to the like ending of it,
Yeah.
it's like I bawled listening to it.
Yeah, bro, just structuring songs. Also,
Coming to frame TT stuff.
yeah.
Out here in the back, like
I'm in the way. I'm in her way.
I mean, you was blocking her, but she
Oh,
was.
head.
my bad.
Shining.
She wasn't saying nothing, and I was like, "Yo, like, hold on."
Nah, yeah.
But like being able to, I was telling somebody like the other day. I was like, "Yo, I haven't took an album this serious in a long time. Not even my own joint. And it's like to go play this in this room, gallery, the car, the headphones, Boston, Arizona, Wall Street, and hearing feedback how things are sounding, and then people loving the music and hearing things like, "Oh, this was mix," or hearing it on so many different sets of speakers and so many different type of environments. It changed the whole dynamic of the album for me.
So speaking of growth, bro, how did you feel taking on a project like this, knowing the importance of it?
So you started sending me records during the pandemic when we were in lockdown, and you had sent me records, like some of them didn't make it, and then some of them were like Turbulence, and a few others, Blackwick, John Wick, and maybe a few others. And I was like, yo, these aren't just like little pandemic cuts. Yo, hold on, bro. These are like, this is phenomenal music, and they were just rough cuts.
Right.
They were just rough cuts, and I'm like, first of all, I hadn't even met you before this album.
We have, but we met at the Godfrey. I was there briefly. We just knew
briefly,
each other.
very briefly. I still didn't really like chop up with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, who produced like these joints? Oh, my man KP. That's all I kept hearing.
My man KP.
He sent me what was it? What's the interlude? The Bear Force joint. Yo, my man KP. This, that. I'm like, yo, this dude is like,
Yeah, KP.
He's a beast.
bro.
Yeah,
The
KP
music
different.
is sounding
KP
like
different.
top notch. And, you know, shit that I enjoy, the live band instrumental stuff, and like it matched. It was very glovish when it comes to like you and I, how it clicked.
Yeah.
And when I heard the songs, I was like, yo, bro, like this. And I think you asked me to like mix one, and I was like, yo, bro, can I get the batch? Like, what's up? He's like, yeah, Leff, my fault. Can you mix the album? And I was like, hell yeah, bro. Like, I was wild excited. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I didn't feel like, man, this is gonna be a lot of work. I felt like it was a honor to be able to be a part of your process now from being in the process in the beginning. And then it pushed me a lot, staying up till 5 in the morning, getting calls from you at 2:30 in the morning like, yo, this ad-lib is loud, or sitting in here with all three of us like, yo, what song should go first, what should be last, trying to figure out the order, the sequencing of the whole album, and what made sense to come first, to go last.
Shout out to y'all for that, bro.
I mean, everybody, you know,
Word.
like, but yeah, I remember just it was so dope to be a part of the whole thing in such a weird time. I don't know. I think everybody was creating music, but to pull all this out during a lockdown was crazy to me. But because you went through so much,
Yeah.
you had so much to say. It was just interesting, really, really dope to be a part of it for me.
And I'm about to ask you the same question, KP. But before I say that, bro, I think the most important lesson I learned with this joint is really like the importance of family and the people that you love, and creating with them. Like I see in Godfrey, a lot of things went to a lot of people who weren't invested into my career, like the people around me are. So like the mixing and the mastering was phenomenal, but it wasn't as easy to access the people that I wanted to get it mixed and mastered because they didn't know me like that. And it was like straight business. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, it was business also. But bro, you've been invested in my career for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, I would much rather work, and it's just like now when people hear the joint, yo, who mixed that? My man Leff mixed that. Not the, oh yeah, we went to the guy who has the most credits. Nah, I went to my man Leff, and we about to put his name on the board because he's better than everybody, and I don't care what nobody got to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But that's what the music industry is all about, though, too.
I
Like,
get it.
it's
I have to learn
it's
as a
about
leader.
building with
Learning
like
that, yeah,
your squad. Like, you know,
Yeah.
when you first get in, it's like, well, I'm obviously like we're all on the same ship, but like I notice with certain careers when they first get in, they want to work with the hottest producers, and then they get to a place when they find their sound, like they want to stay within their camp. They want to stay
but
within people.
the other side of the coin is from the producers. Some of the producers want to work with the hottest artists.
That is true.
And the other way to it is like come in with somebody from the ground up, and which is a way more longevity,
Right.
impact,
Yeah.
game changer,
like-
investment. I would say.
Like it's a roller coaster enough. The least you can do is make sure that you come in with your family, bro.
Those people that you love, yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. But those people still have to be sharp,
For sure.
and that needs to be made clear. Like
Yeah.
if somebody's off game, that person has to be talked to or whatever, because nobody should be slowing down somebody's process either.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I could take a million days to get your mixes back, and you'd be like, "Yo, Lev, I love you. We started this together, but now you're hurting me. You're not helping me." So that's a conversation.
Yeah.
But if everybody's on point, then I think it definitely makes sense.
Good money, son.
But
I'm gonna end this joint with you, KP.
I think for me it's been like, it's been great. I think it started with him sending me beats, him sending me records in March or February, right before the lockdown. Like he's just sending me, and he sent me a whole bunch of records that were done, and he was just like, "Oh, you thought I was finished?" He kept saying, "Oh, you thought I was finished?" "Oh, you thought I was finished?" He just kept sending. And I was like, "Damn!" Like at one point, I was just like, "Dang, this guy's actually like he's really working." And it started with he asked me, "Hey, do you have any beats?" And I was just like, "Honestly, no. I just been making sample packs." And I played him something from there. And you're
I
like,
think it was pandemic.
and you're like, "Can you flip that sample that you created into an actual beat?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." I was like, "Yeah." So it was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." And it was literally like 15, 20 minutes. I was like, "Yeah," like 15, 20 minutes, and that was it. It was over.
But I think one of my favorite last minute contributions was the Joy record. Like when the shit was done, we were done.
Yeah, so he.
I was done.
So you were there too. Yeah, you were there too.
Tell the story, KP.
So listen,
So I was
Yo,
done.
so we got one more. I said, no, we don't.
Right.
Same shit, because he told me.
So I was just like, shout out to D Keys, by the way. I can't not leave him out of this. I can't leave him out of this, but he just sent me keys, and I remember just dressing up around it. And then originally I was just like, I should say this for something else. And then I remember bringing the key down, and I was just like, this is the same key as a Black John Wick. And I'm just winding them up, and it just fit. And I was like, I gotta call Oswin. At this point, Oswin's tired of me. At this point, he's like, yo, we're done. So I hit him. He's like, yo, KP, man, I don't want to hear nothing else. Man. We're good. Like, this is not it. Like, yo, bro, we're good. Like, the album, KP, leave the album alone, bro.
Like, yo, you acting like we about to die, bro.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
he
he said that. He's like,
bro,
we're gonna make more music. I'm like, nah, bro, this has to go.
What made you? I have to ask though. Like, what made you hear what you made from that and said this has to be on, opposed to like, I don't know. Like, what about that made you feel like, nah, I gotta put it on, or get him to put it on?
Well, I think, to be honest, like, I feel like Black John Wick was an intro was dope, but I don't know. I just
Fuck, something like something to be there first.
What happened?
So I felt like something needed to be there.
Yeah, I feel like
first.
something needed to be there before leading into Black John Wick. And I was just like, and at first I was just gonna keep this for for what I was gonna use it for. But I was just like, nah, this kind of has to go. Like the elements, the sound textures of it, like, it just had this elegant feel to it.
Yeah, it did.
And Black John Wick also fit that, but Black John Wick had a sense of elegance and aggression because obviously it had the strings, but it also had the
But
urban
did you
aggression feel.
produce Joy with the intention of that, or you already had it?
No.
You found it or something.
No, I didn't. I wasn't thinking about that until I dropped the key down, and I was just like, "Oh shoot, this would be a crazy intro." And then
That's
I
crazy.
literally lined it up. I dropped Black John Wick into the session, and right after it ended, bam, and we just went right into the strings.
Yeah, and
How
was
did you
like,
feel when you got the return on it?
When I played it,
You know, when you got the turnaround time with vocals on it and everything.
oh Black John Wick,
No, Joy.
oh with Joy, oh I loved it. Yeah, originally I was just like, nah, bro, just leave it as an instrumental, just let it just rock out.
Word? You
At
felt
first-
that with the vocals?
At first, I was just like, oh, I think you should just leave it with the what's it called, and that's it. And just do like background vocals, and that's it. But then when I heard that, I was just like, oh shoot, like this kind of ties into the duality of duality of life and death. Like it makes sense, you know. And it already set up the theme for the album.
Word, because that's how I felt. I felt like he covered every base in like
That's
12
crazy.
bars. Bro.
Yeah, but
That was
Crazy that the intro came last too, bro. The intro was the last one that we recorded on the album.
But I think the beautiful thing is I wasn't really like a part of Godfrey like that. But I think I can notice like the growth, like within God, and I love Godfrey. But like I think Godfrey was him trying stuff out, and this was more so like, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know that, like to the
It's
point where like
solidified. I
right,
agree.
and I think the crazy part from my perspective was it started to become like, let's just make songs, so let's do an EP, and we're just like, nah, we gotta do an album at this point, like, you know. I think that's what the process was, and I think what I loved about this process so much, and I say it all the time, and I said it to wifey too, like just the confidence in yourself. Even to the point where I'm just like, nah, so that's a bad idea. You're like, nah, KP, I know what I'm doing. I'm like, all right. Like, okay, all right. Like, you know what I mean? And I think it was beautiful to see that you didn't second guess.
Yeah.
Like, you did not second guess at all. Even if it meant
on what?
no, just on
on
stuff. Like, he didn't second guess, and I was like, damn, this guy's really confident in like what he's doing now. Like, whereas before it felt like you were just trying things. Now you just kind of know. Now you kind of know where you're headed, and you have confidence in that journey. And I think it's kind of remarkable to see that.
Yeah, and that I can say just from the first time you walked in here, and we talk about this all the time. The first time you walked in here ever to having this conversation now, it's like it's hard to cover 10 years of, but like the incremental sessions. There's certain sessions that stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The soul part twos and mixing certain joints. And then getting it to here is like, yeah, bro, your growth, your talent has been sharpened, has been refined. I think you knowing yourself so much and then spilling it out, that's what really makes you different. It's not the fact that you rap or sing really well, because there's people better and worse than everybody all over. But what is it about you? It's like you have this ability to really tap into your story in a way where not everyone can do so for themselves. That makes sense.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Nah, real quick, tapping in though, I always forget that you produce most of the album, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, the fact that y'all talking about Joy right now, I'm like, oh shit, like that's something that like, that I told you, like that shit hit me at the listening session, for the visuals for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, this is crazy. So like, even like the relationship that me and KP got, like being friends since 2000, like for 20 years, and it's like for us to like come together and put our two like mediums together, like for me to hear that joint and like forget that he produced that joint, and I'm like, oh shit, I got the visual for this.
That's amazing.
And I remember Leff was the first person I told, and I was like, nah, son, I got it. I got to do this. And we just shot it. Like, and it's just like...
Yeah, but you know what it is, though, too? I think about the things I wanted to happen I think I said it to you too. I think the things I wanted to happen that are happening now, I wanted to happen when I first met you.
Yeah.
Like being like taking care of, you know, like being having my hand in it, you know, like the production, this, that, and the third, and like it really made me realize a few things. Number one, it's just timing, like time. I know,
I was just gonna say that.
and I know, right, and I know it sounds like you know a cop out for some people, whatever the case may be, but like some things, it's just timing and maturity. I don't think I didn't have like had Godfrey been in my hands, I don't think I'd have the maturity to do Godfrey. If I'm being honest, that's just me being real. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I love about this, how seamless it was, and yeah, this was a very seamless process, and yeah, it was. I have nothing really much to say about it.
The
Like,
last thing I could say is,
yeah,
what really made the difference was your ability to trust people. Like the fact that you trusted me to just throw Alex on Turbulence or other joints. I'm like, yo, I really hear something. You're like, Leff, go ahead. Or, yo, as people hit you, I really want to do Joy. I have this idea. All right, bet, let's do it. There was no friction. Like, I don't know if I want to do it.
Mine.
Yeah, like I don't think it's, you know what I mean? Unless it was really on some where like I know y'all have had convos that became combative in out of love for passion. Like, yo, no, I'm doing this or, on both sides. Like, nah, yo, I'm doing this, or yo, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Pandemic. I was just like, yo, bro, I got a third verse for Pandemic.
yeah.
And KP was just like, what? A third verse about what? I was like, about Nas. He was like, you gonna talk about Nas on a beat like that? I was like, bro.
I think you said that too, right?
Yeah.
I was just like,
Steph said the same thing.
Yeah,
It was like, you really gonna throw a third verse about Nas? Like, for real?
I was with KP on that one.
I was just
But
like, yo.
it shows that's what makes a team great. Like when I think about basketball, when you move the ball like that, when you trust your teammates and you constantly pass. It's not just about scoring; it's about fluidity and it's about moving the rock. So it's like when you pass like that, it shows somebody you trust them. You know, say, yo, Leff, I trust you with this mix, or I trust you with getting this person on, or yo, KP, I trust you to do this and do these drops or get these ideas, or I trust SP with this video concept, like, or I trust Steph. You trust, you know what I mean? You trust Steph's ear so much, which is the right thing to do. But a lot of people would be like, well, why? Or what does she know? Or how would? Nah, bro, this is the people that know me the most. Why wouldn't I make that call? But a lot of people don't. Out of ego or pride or fear. You know, it's like not getting it right.
Yeah, it's just for me. I think for me that it was cool watching your growth, but also noticing the growth that I have my own journey. I think I've talked to you about this too. Like, you know, there's certain things I wanted to express about like the project, but it taught me how to, like you said, trust, like to not micromanage and to not, you know what I mean? Like it made me go like, all right, cool, I gotta trust you.
And we had private conversations ourselves about that too.
Yeah.
Being able to just pull back and
But it's also like the discernment to micromanage, but to also be like, yo, family, we have to get this done.
Nah, and that's
like
100%. You had that combo with me, like, Leff, you gotta get those cleans. And like, I don't care what nobody say, but you're right.
But he had to tell,
cool.
he had to tell me too, like, yo, this project's gonna do what it's supposed to do. You gotta let it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a balance, bro.
Definitely.
It's a balance, and I think that's
But super dope journey, bro. To be able to travel with this project, be able to get so many eyes and ears on it so far, and it didn't even come out. The feedback has been crazy on every. Yo, bro, they played a record. I think it was Black and Blue on Shade 45. Showed me a soundbite. Like, wow, whoever mixed this is crazy. Nobody says that on the radio.
That's a fact.
Nobody ever compliments a mix. 105. Like, yeah, that was a great mix. Like, nobody. Who does that? So, like, just from who did the beats, who did the mix, everybody's asking the outside questions opposed to how dope the artist is. I've never seen that personally.
That's a fact.
Being around listening parties and going to different networking events and being to shows like, well, who did the like, you know what I'm saying? Like
technical shit.
Yeah, the technicals. Nobody asked
Who's in
that.
charge of the lights?
So it's like, yeah, right. Like, Word. So I think that was crazy to really be a part of that and like see it from everyone else's view. Like, and then honestly, Wall Street was crazy.
Yeah.
Wall Street was crazy. Just to get a lot of people in the room and like being able to play it on the bigs like that in the A room and just run it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, you know, for me again, it was just a private journey for me going up to Boston and getting a show to be like, yeah, nah, I can't really say nothing about this, whatever. Like, being here and experiencing shit being made here. It's crazy, bro.
I think also from a producer perspective too, like, and I'll close with this too, I think another thing is also I watched a few documentaries. I watched Quincy Jones and I watched John Bellion's documentary, and I realized how collaborative these greats were. Like, they never flexed. They never been like, oh, I literally did everything. Like, they called people who specialized in one thing, and me needing to call someone who was a strings composer for Black Genre, me needing to call guitarists. Like, there was no shame in that. Like, I think sometimes the misconception that producers have is that they have to touch every single note. You don't have to touch every single note. Some of your favorite records, your producer that's on it, who produced the record, right, who produced and facilitated the record, they didn't hit every single note. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think that was a trust. The same way you had to trust me, I had to trust those two guys that I had to go to. One of them played guitar, shout out to Side Effects. Another one did string, like he wrote the strings out.
It was amazing.
And it was just like that was another thing for me as well, because I wanted to do it myself. But even though I was producing the record, they specialized in this one concentrated area that I know I do it good, but they do it great.
Great. And
you know what I'm saying?
I took some of the mixes to Brooklyn and played it for my boy Preem, and he was like, yo, Leff, your S's are hitting way too hard, and I can hear it, because I didn't have those speakers, or I didn't have that ear, or that, so I'm like, oh shit, it really is. And I was able to come back and start hearing things way different. Just like involving everybody you know to get the best potential product.
Yeah.
And crazy.
And lastly, talk about, you know what I'm saying, everybody that knew. Shout out to every producer that was on this, from Rondon to Flowers in Narnia to Batman Beach to International Show to Rod the Producer, you know what I mean, to Deli Got Beats, dog.
Review was a hell of a.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't think I miss anybody, but even, you know, Tammy with the backgrounds, Alex with the backgrounds. You know what I mean? Flam with the backgrounds, Rob Glasper on this, Chris Dave with his contribution. Like, it's been such a collaborative Black Way, Jesus Christ. Like, it's been such a collaborative effort with this joint, bro, and I never worked with this many people on a project before, because I always wanted to do things by myself. So that in itself is a testament to growth. Recording the shit in my crib by myself, learning Pro Tools.
That's what I was very impressed by too.
You know what I'm
I was
saying?
proud of you for like nothing. That just shows nothing can, is gonna really get in your way. Like, yo, whole lockdown pandemic. Yo, yeah, I got my focus right. I got my mic. Maybe Josiah's in the other room or something. They'll keep it down for a minute. I'll get this tape when they stop talking. Like, just whatever it is, like, to still get your conscious ideas out, your feelings out during whatever. You know.
Yeah, bro.
If there was any doubt that I had about him not working, that all stopped when March happened. When he played me all of his records, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah, and they weren't just on some like
no, like they were,
yeah.
And I was just like, so what happened? You got married, and all of a sudden, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you transformed. Like, I don't get it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you did, like, you're making do with what you have. I think that and I think that's what I liked about you, is that your tenacity during this. You did not, whether things fell through or not, you still kept going. You said, oh, this didn't happen. All right, cool. I was the one to get bummed out when I was like, damn, this couldn't happen. Like, nah, bro, it's all good. Next.
It's all good. Next.
Like you moved on. Like, you know what I mean? You didn't harp on it and be like, you know what I mean?
And to live, and not to bring it up, but to live through his experience. Like, I remember when Najee passed. I remember the night he passed, and I was like, I didn't understand. I was like, what's going on? I saw something on Instagram, or Steph texted me or something, and I was like, and I was trying to call you, didn't pick up. I was like, what do you? And I didn't even know Najee like that, but I knew him enough on FaceTime actually. And maybe once or twice a day. But I remember that night. I remember the night you got married. So I remember everything.
You were on FaceTime.
I remember everything in between. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to hear the records that stem from those real things that translated. You know what I'm saying? Even taking a joint upstate to get it mastered was crazy. Like, meeting Tammy's family or getting really cool with KP. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Shout out to Wyatt for mastering the joint too.
Yeah.
Love you, Pops.
That was amazing, bro. But everything was just like, I was like, yo, this is just crazy, man. This album is too crazy.
Yeah, it was great.
Word.
We can rap, man, because all this other sound, we might have copyright issues and shit.
Oh yeah, we got
with the Eminem playing in the back.
Eminem was bumping downstairs.
Yo, I just started bumping. I couldn't hold it.
Yo, Oz, man.
Yo.
What we... Joy comes...
You already know Joy comes in the morning, January 7,
man, all up in the
2021.
mic.
Nigga.
This shit sounds like distorted and shit.
And
This is like...
that, nigga.
This is a ghetto podcast
I
right here.